there! I'm almost out of my homemade liquid laundry soap, so I thought I would share with you guys the recipe that I use. What you'll need is an empty container of some kind. I like to use this one because it has a pour spout and a cap I can pour into. I've used a makeshift funnel because I don't have a funnel. I use this empty cup to scoop it out of the 5-gallon drum, which you'll also need. And then I cut down and off the bottom to make this into a little funnel so that can go in there while I pour that in. Obviously you'll need a 5-gallon drum, and this can be found in most paint stores or Walmart in the paint section. Make sure it has a lid that you're able to get off on your own. Had to switch to this one, so that's why it doesn't match. You need some kind of stirring utensil. I'm just using this because it's easy for me to wash. You'll need some kind of grater. I found this one at a thrift shop and it fits the bar of soap perfectly. Or you can just use a cheese grater. I suggest using it for only soap. That's why I bought one specially for this. You'll need a bar of soap. Any kind of bar of soap is fine. I have a coconut allergy, which is part of the reason why I make my own laundry soap. Measuring cups of some kind are very helpful, and I use these only for my borax and my washing soda. You'll also need borax and washing soda. This is another item I picked up at my local thrift store, and I just use it for making laundry soap. To get started, we're going to pour 1 cup of Arm & Hammer washing soda into our 5-gallon drum and a 1/2 cup of borax. After you pour in those 2 items, you can set this bucket aside. You won't need it again until we're done with the next step. Now I'm going to grind up my bar of soap with either my grater or this handy tool. I like this one better. It's a lot faster and a lot easier. Just so long as your bar of soap fits in there. So go ahead and grind up your entire bar of soap into a container of some kind or into your saucepan. Another reason I love making my own laundry soap is because I'm not paying for water off of a shelf in the laundry section. Each liter costs about 9 cents to make. So this costs me less than $0.25. So I'd say that's worth it. This recipe yields 10 gallons. So that lasts me and my husband over a year. So I love this laundry soap. Typically, I do laundry about every other day, and it usually involves 2 to 3 loads. I have my soap all grinded up, and I have it in this little bowl because I'm going to take the soap and add it to the 4 cups of water. 4 cups of water, put it on low to medium heat, and I'm slowly going to add in my soap flakes so that there is not clumping issues. Make sure that as you're stirring this, once you have all of the soap in, that you continuously stir this because it will want to bubble over on you, which would not be very fun. It is soap, but it might be tough to clean up. So just continue stirring and adding your little flakes, and as they dissolve, keep adding more. I have discovered that if you pour them in, sorry I just bumped you guys, if you pour them in from a spoon and then keep mixing, it is far less likely to clump. Whereas the way I was doing it before, how I was pouring it, I got a little bit too much in and then it would clump up a bit. So the slower you add the soap to the water soap mixture, the less likely it is to clump. It does take a lot longer, but it doesn't clump, so they don't have to sit there forever waiting for all these clumps to dissolve. So just a word of advice there. And I have also tried this where you have the soap in the pot and then you add the water to the soap, and that clumps terribly. So if you don't want clumps, I highly suggest adding the soap to the water. Welcome to my laundry room. Now that all of my soap is dissolved, I'm going to add it to the 5-gallon drum bucket. Scoop all of this out. Now I'll just set this in the sink. fill that with water after basically you want to make sure that this gets all mixed up before you pour the water in all the way, because I don't have a spoon long enough, and you might not either, to make sure that this all gets mixed up really, really well. So then add hot water to it to fill up your 5-gallon bucket, mixing as you go. So as I'm rinsing my pan, I'm also pouring it into the bucket so there's no water wasted, which I think is pretty cool. Now I'm just going to pull my faucet over and aim it into the bucket so that I don't have to lift this at all. So now that my bucket is all full, I'm waiting for the bubbles to die down a bit, and then I will fill it the rest of the way with water, put the lid on, let it sit overnight, and it will thicken up a little bit, and then when I need to fill my container next, I will fill it half full of soap and half full of water. So this makes 10 gallons of laundry soap. It's awesome! So now next time I need to do laundry and I run out of soap, I have a whole 5-gallon bucket full of it that I can use. Be sure to shake it or stir it after you open it, and be sure to shake or stir your laundry dispenser after you fill it also. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. If you have any questions, I'd love to help if I can. Feel free to leave them in the comment section or send me a message on another of my social media platforms. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.